What screams I peaked in high school? A guy who graduated from my high school back in 2003 was arrested a few years ago for his second DUI. He was wearing his Letterman jacket in his mugshot. I picked up some stuff at my parents' house when I was 25. One of those things is my Letterman's jacket. Put it on, got in the car, had to stop for gas. Who happens to be filling their car next to mine? My high school wrestling coach. I wonder how much of a loser he thought I was. I wasn't even that good. Partying with high schoolers when you're 30. Duck. I can't imagine this. I'm 32. And high schoolers seemed ridiculously young to me after about 23. Selling pot to teenagers and then trying to get them to stay and smoke with you. Me. In a horrid realization. In the back of my 92 Camaro. While icing that knee I blew out at the championship game senior year. Reading through the divorce papers. Still bragging about high school basketball games from 10 years ago. Still bullying the nerds at your 10-year reunion. Selling your pyramid scheme essential oils on Facebook. I dated a guy with his high school mascot tattooed on his arm. It was such a turn off. Making any mention of SAT or ACT scores. Bonus points for that IQ test you took when you were a kid online. At my 10-year reunion. The prom queen came wearing a tiara with a custom Queen 03 inches sash over her shoulder. I had to go outside, I was laughing so hard. But I'll be damned if she didn't rock that outfit the wild time. So. Respect. Still sad though. Teachers who suck up to the athletes and other popular kids and ignore the less popular kids. My freshman year Spanish teacher was like that. Billy Joel feels compelled to write a ballad about how you and your ex were the king and the queen of the prom. How the two of you married right after high school. And how it all went to hell from there. Bonus points if your names happen to be Brenda and Eddie. As someone who recently graduated. The students who returned to the school every time they came home from school just so people would pay attention to them. Also not sure how to explain it, but the people who now post blank screens and just text on their Snapchat stories that just say things like always crazy to see who you can really trust when this happens, or surprising to see who really cares about you when you need friends the most. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it, but there's definitely a correlation. We used to play indoor floor hockey in a loft room in the big gym of my middle school. One game I scored 3 goals. One of them being a bank shot off the wall. The next year I wrote about the game for an assignment in English class and the teacher read it to the class the next day. I'm not sure which one was my peak. 1 strap. Everybody knows 2 strap is the thing now. People who say high school is the best time of your life. When I was in high school. This guy a year before me had a fearsome reputation. At house parties. People would fear him just by name alone. He would show up to parties with his cronies and start fights. He came from a decent enough family. Everybody wanted to be on his good side. Anyway. He graduates high school. And most of us were still in 12th grade. I remember he used to come around lunchtime to smoke with the people out front. Shoot the breeze and talk about how much fun it is to just sleep in and do nothing and have all this freedom. A couple of months of cool. 2. Why are you still here? As we awkwardly shuffled back to class. Hanging out with kids in high school after high school. Filming yourself running drills and throwing footballs off camera in front of your van mobile home. The class that graduated before me had their 10-year reunion last year, and apparently a big fight broke out over something that happened when they were all still in high school. I guess that is one way to tell if someone peaked in high school. Pretty embarrassing. Constantly sharing stuff about how great they were at high school football. Dropping out of college to promote your pyramid scheme. Always showing up to the football field wearing your Letterman jacket. Years after you barely passed summer school in order to graduate. Wearing your high school ring after graduation. A Slipknot tattoo. An older model Honda Civic. And an assistant manager job at Pizza Hut. Getting the score of the football game you won against the school's rival tattooed on your shoulder. Wearing your class ring. Like, why were they a thing at all? They were so chunky and ugly and cost like $70 on the low end. One of the few good things, maybe the only good thing, about the UK's usually duct education system is that hardly anyone, except those who have had an expensive private education, gives a duck about their old school. No loyalty to the old school. Sports loyalty when at school was practically non-existent. No one, apart from those on the teams, usually gave a shit about how the sports teams did. No yearbooks. No jackets. No prompts, at least when I went to school. That aberration seems to be creeping in now. No one gives a duck. School reunions are rare if a thing at all here. I still know and see a few of my classmates or ones who were at school when I was there. But only because they still live locally and it's not that big a place. The others I have no idea where they are. How they are. Even if they're still alive, and with maybe 2 or 3 exceptions. Have no great wish to find out. Haha, this one time at band camp. Anytime after age 20. Forcing your kids to be good at sports. When I was in high school, the cool kids partied hard. They'd get blackout drunk and used whatever illegal substances they can get. I was looking through the profiles of some of those classmates and a few of them are still doing the same shit. Talking gangster shit despite growing up in a middle class suburb. Talking about how they miss their kids who are in CPS custody because they went to jail for using. Going on rants about knocks, etc. They're about 27 or 28. What made you cool in high school makes you a loser as a grown-ass adult. Especially when you're a parent. Talking about high school football drama. Being a high school asshole then trying to reconnect with the people you look down on because daddy's money can't buy you friends. Never advancing your life past the moment when you graduate. I have a cousin who still lives with his parents. Has had the same job he had since junior year. And has done duck all with his life. Alternatively, I have a cousin the same age still living with his mom, but he's going to college and taking care of his grandmother. I think he wants to make it as a concept artist, but he's working on a fallback degree before he makes the big leap. Huge difference. Sharing every memory from Facebook, talking about the good old days and wish we could go back when it's only been a few years since graduation.